Very ground and space. Really well.
Any of the children come to talk?
Yes.
Please hurry up.
Rebecca, come.
Mommy wants to find out how you feel now, how you were at first and how do you feel now? You feel well. But at first, how were you? How did you feel? 2 months ago, how did you feel? You felt bad. Well, how bad was it? How did you feel 2 months ago? Were you having any pain anywhere? Where? Your abdomen and everything. Do you know what they say is wrong with you? You don't know what is wrong. Blood cancer. Little girl.
Yes.
And now how is the blood cancer? What did you say? Is it better? It's getting better.
Are you feeling stronger? Really?
It's much better.
Three months ago. Your hair will grow back soon. And my namesake,
We'll now call on the landlord of our health facility, and he's the acting CEO of Poly, the president of Dr. Samuel Isiama, to give us the welcome address.
Good morning, Your Excellency, First Lady of Ghana. This is Rebecca Fadu. Directors and senior members of this hospital, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the members of that members of the media. Your Excellency, today marks an important milestone in your political hospital and childhood cancer care in this hospital. As we mark the International Cancer Day, we are being reminded of the pain and suffering cancer brings to the society and the increasing need for us all to put our shoulders to the wheel and address this challenge. Globally, cancer is overtaking infectious diseases as the leading cause of disease-related mortality in children and adolescents. It is estimated that 250,000 children get cancer globally. In Ghana, it is estimated that in every 500 children will be affected by cancer by age 15. This estimate suggests that about 1,000 of our children below 15 years may have cancer yearly, especially with Ghana's population over 25 million. Your Excellency, research shows that cancer, if detected early, can be cured. And Kologo has many success stories of children who have been cured and are living normally in this country. The costs and the comfort of children and the cost of treatment is an issue which needs urgent attention. Ladies and gentlemen, the cost of cancer treatment can be very expensive and may take months of therapy, counseling, and long stay in hospital. This requires accommodation for them and their guidance. I'm talking about the patients we see, especially the cancer treatment. It has 6-bedded room for mother and child at the mother's hostel, but this is woefully inadequate. People travel all the way from Pada right down to Accra. And we only have a 6-bed for them to stay in, and they go through several courses of therapy, and that is a big challenge. The issue of resolving the accommodation has been on management's agenda, and when the Parents Association of Children with Cancer called on us to assist with the construction, we gladly obliged. I am happy to say that the land has been provided, which we will be visiting very soon for the groundbreaking ceremony to commence. I am told that the hostel, when completed, will be a 3-story building and will comfortably accommodate 28 families. The facility will also have counseling and support office, counseling support office, and this will be an improvement over the current. I must commend Ghana Parents Association for Childhood Cancer for their determination in getting this project up and running. Please be assured that management will provide the necessary support for this project. Your Excellency, thank you for supporting this wedding venture. We are confident that you will use your good office to ensure completion of this project. Your Excellency, and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, your presence here today is a demonstration of your goodwill towards Hollywood. And I humbly request that you become ambassadors of this society. Finally, I also commend staff of Child Health Department, particularly the staff of the oncology unit, for their dedication to duty. It is heartwarming to see how caregivers relate to their patients. On this note, I welcome you all, and especially Your Excellency, thank you and God bless you.
With our population of over 25 million, we'd expect to see about 1,000 childhood cancer cases a year. But between Kolebu and Kokwanochi, the only 2 children's cancer units, we see about 300 a year only. So you know that cancer is untreated, you know the ultimate end. So what happens to the other 70%? So why are we here? Why do we need to act now? We do know that Ghana has been really successful in reducing deaths from childhood infections. And so now non-communicable diseases are assuming more of an importance. This includes childhood cancer. In the developed world, over 80% of children with cancer have the prospect of cure. And this is because of early detection, very important. Access to effective treatment is also essential. And a child cured of cancer is a good investment. You have at least 50 to 60 years of productive life for a child cured with cancer. Let's think about that. This just shows our mortality. You can see 2014, childhood cancer was number 2 amongst the childhood mortalities in the Department of Child Health in Kolebu Teaching Hospital. 2015, number 3, above pneumonia, malaria, gastroenteritis. And this is even not the full picture, because as you'll see, next slide, this is an extraordinary couple of weeks when out of 10 children admitted to the unit, 6 could not be treated because we were seeing too late. We could only offer treatment to 3. 2 of them died within 2 days of coming to the unit, and the other 4 we had to send home to die. So those would not even have been captured amongst the childhood deaths from the unit. Next one. The commonest cancers that we see are the top 4: lymphomas, leukemias, retinoblastoma, eye cancer, and kidney cancer, Wilms tumor. And these account for 76% of the cancers that we see. And all these cancers are curable. Over 80%. Eye cancer has, you won't believe it, 95% chance of long-term survival. So 76% of them are the most curable. And out of these 60%, you can cure them with an amount of between 2,000 to 6,000 Ghana cedis. Next slide, please, as you'll see. So what are our issues? Late presentation. discrimination is major because of lack of knowledge, both among the general public and even our health workers, who sometimes forget that children could get cancer, and so there are late referrals. Our obviously social-cultural beliefs, access to treatment centers, and abandonment of treatment. So access and abandonment, accommodation is key, because up to 40% of our children abandon treatment before midway because they cannot continue staying, the cost of staying. Drug cost is also a major thing which we've also been pushing for. Childhood cancer is not on NHIS. Thankfully, breast cancer and cervical cancer is on it, so we're grateful as women. But what about our children? What's the point? Our future. Childhood cancer is not on NHIS. And there are other family costs. Obviously, someone referred from far, accommodation is an issue, so they would not come. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned, treatment can range from 2,000 for the commonest cancer to about 6,000 for most cases. Leukemia, however, is treated over a period of 2 to 3 years and will cost up to 20,000 Ghana cedis. The surprising thing is that, well, although there are several anti-cancer drugs on our essential medicines list, and 7 of these drugs, which are used for adult cancers, are not available to children with cancer. So the adults can get them, but the children cannot. Let's go on. Just getting to the end, briefly, I'll give a typical case. KA, a 1.5-year-old boy, referred from the north of Ghana to Kolego. The history was that his mother noticed a swelling of the right eye for the past 3 months, which is late for presentation. But when he was 4 months of age, his mother noted a shiny white spot in the eye and reported to the child welfare clinic. This is true. It happens often. They report to the child welfare clinic the shiny white spot. The nurses or whoever might tell them, oh, it's normal, that's how the child was born, unaware it is child cancer. So they wait and come a year later with now the eye protruding. The diagnosis is retinoblastoma. They come from the north boldly with national health insurance and 1,000 Ghana cedis, which is a lot to them. Next one. Now when he arrives, admission, basic labs, paracetamol, they can get on health insurance. Head CT scan, because it's late, we have to do that. It would have been avoided, which had been early. 400 Ghana cedis. Bone marrow, 350, which would have been avoided. Chemotherapy could have been avoided, which was early. And surgery, 2,500. Pathology, 300. Radiotherapy, which you need, which would have been avoided, at least 1,200. So what is this family going to do with the 1,000 cedis, even though where to stay? So this is a boy from the north. He's actually on our poster, and Dad is so proud, so he wants him to be shown. When he came before, one of the commonest cancers were kids, and just 4 weeks after treatment, this was 5 years ago, he comes once a year just for follow-up. He's a really brilliant, bubbly boy now. Let's go to the next one. Another girl also from the north, shiny white spots, typical eye cancer. She had the eye removed and has an artificial eye. Can you see the difference? No. She's also very well and has gone back to the north of Ghana. They're very grateful. And we were able to undertake their treatment because of donations that individuals made. We're most grateful to one of the churches, ICGC, which since 2011 has regularly every month been giving us money for treatment. So these are just some of the issues. The way forward, awareness creation is of paramount importance for early presentation, both public and health workers. Early detection is very easy to detect eye cancer very easily if they start it at the child welfare clinics. Every child who goes to child welfare for weight should have an eye looked at, and we can avoid them dying from retinoblastoma. NHIS cover for include childhood cancer. For others, obviously capacity building so that the services can go out to other regions and they don't have to come all the way here. Thank you very much for your attention.
We're now going to hear a little bit more about the hostel project. And to do that, will be someone who's a chartered accountant
and Development Finance Specialist by profession. He heads the Faculty of Accounting, Finance, Economics and Research at GIMPA. He has been the chairperson of the Ghana Parents Association for Childhood Cancer since its inception in 2009, and he's currently a board member of Childhood Cancer International, and this is the largest patient support and advocacy organization in the world. Most importantly, he is the proud father of Master Elom Abe, who I have the privilege to meet. And you can read more about Elom and the Abe family in a book that was penned by his father. It's entitled The Journey Home, and it's available for sale. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kwame.
It is not an exciting thing to be introduced, and then we introduce in all kinds of things. But these are gentlemen and ladies who can tell you what exactly childhood cancer means. Because they've experienced it. The trauma, the pain, the anguish that comes with childhood cancer. These people here have experienced it, and therefore they can give you the right story. As we stand here today, I wish to salute them for all that they've been doing for parents whose children have been diagnosed with cancer, and the children themselves, those who have passed on and those who are still on admission. It is not an easy thing, but we are here today. We have on top of our priority list a hostel which Prof. Rena has spoken about. This hostel has been on the drawing board for some time. We have knocked on doors. We have moved from office to office. We have written letters upon letters without any response. But we are not giving up, because we believe that change is coming. Change has come. This is a hostel, this is a project we perceive would accommodate parents and children who are on admission here or are taking medication for cancer. We have witnessed it in other places, and we think it will only make sense for us to replicate it here. This is the first of this kind, and we want to do it when it is up. Do another one in Kumasi, Komfanoche, besides. What we are asking for is for you to help us. To help us construct this hostel. And when the story of this hostel comes to be written, we will all find our names in the written in book, First Lady. I have written a book with the support of my colleagues here. And we launched the book purposely to ensure that we are able to raise some funds to undertake this project. However, we live in Ghana where people don't like to read. But we have a few copies here who would like to donate to the First Lady. Our intention here is to give it to her so she can also locate 9 other people and tell them our story. We need help. And the help is to construct a hostel, which you can see there. Not for us. Not for us. But for the children out there. And the parents who are suffering. Please help us. We believe the doors are going to be open to us very soon. Thank you all for coming, and I would like my treasurer to do the presentation to the First Lady.
We've come a long way. I think that what women go through, I say woman, these are men, unfortunately, I'm the only woman family. Take time off your position and read. When you read and the tears are coming down, let it flow. Don't wipe it. You do it in your closet. And if our president is around, let him wipe the tears. Afterwards, tell him what you have read. And I tell you, he will help you to help us put up the hostel. Because it's not easy for mothers to decide that I'm not going through any treatment and see a child die. It is not good. It is not easy. And above all, it's failure to us as humanity. So please take this one for yourself and the rest for all the people that you think when they read they can come to our aid. Thank you very much.
The drawing, the architectural drawing of the hostel. All the crossing and everything has been done. Let me repeat. What we are looking for is for people like you to go spread the news and help us to construct this hostel to advance the cause of humanity. When the story comes to be told, your names will be written in gold. Thank you very much for that.
I'd like to call on Mr. Pim. Yes.
Thank you very much. It is very, very, very great to be here today. First of all, my apologies because many of you saw me strolling in late. I am never late. I actually got here like 9:50 and I was waiting behind and I was in space. They just told me that what was going on here was something regarding prenatal. So I said, okay, I'll wait. Luckily, I felt like going to the bathroom. And as I was going, I asked, so when is the event? So please, it was a miscommunication thing. Not that I came in late. I will never come in late. Especially when the first lady is sitting here, not here sitting my late. But it's extremely great to be here, and I'm extremely proud to be the ambassador of the face of child cancer. One time I was giving a little talk somewhere, and there's a game we play. It's called word association. Like they give you the word, and then you quickly come up with whatever thing comes to your mind that can be associated with the word. So, for example, when you hear KSM, maybe you think comedy. When you hear change, maybe you think Nanado. And when you hear child, you probably think play, child, toy, child, games. You never think child, cancer. Never occurs to you that kids have cancer, but they do. So I'm very, very happy to be here with everybody here today for the groundbreaking ceremony to build this hostel to host parents, especially mothers who have children suffering with child. It is so important And it is in line with world practice when you go to any of the civilized places, as Dr. Abbas said, you find hostels for parents. Cancer is like something that affects the whole family. Child cancer is something that is so difficult to the whole family. And for the GAPA to take a step and Hollywood to donate land to build a hostel is in the right direction. So all I can say today is that, first of all, thank you to the Kulubu administration for giving the land. Thank you to GAPAC for your persistent and relentless efforts to get here. And thank you to everybody. But more importantly, let it not be, this should not be the end of the story. That the administration donated land and that's it. The end of the story should be when we all meet to actually commission the completed building. That should be the end of the story. So I appeal to everybody, whatever we can do. For my own small part, I think I have access to media and a great media platform that will be committed to making sure that this becomes a reality. We thank you all for coming. First Lady, we thank you for your presence. And the commitment to me today is that we should see this to the end. And then one day, we'll all gather and happily commission the hostel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, KSM. We now call on the WHO representative, Mrs. Joanna Hanson, to give us.
Good morning, Excellency, distinguished invited guests. I am reading this brief statement on behalf of Dr. Owen Kalua, the country representative for WHO, who would have wished to hear, but unfortunately has to attend to other pressing commitments. Your Excellency, Mrs. Rebecca Ekufuado, First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, distinguished invited guests, the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor for WHO to join you in marking this year's International Childhood Cancer Day. This year globally, we are all saying to do more and care more for kids with cancer. International Childhood Cancer Day has been a collaborative campaign to raise awareness about childhood cancer and to express support for children and adolescents with cancer, the survivors and their families. The day promotes increased appreciation and deeper understanding of issues and challenges impacting childhood cancer and the survivors. It also spotlights the need for more equitable and better access to treatment and care for all children with cancer everywhere. I congratulate the Ghana Parents Association for Childhood Cancer for all the efforts at not just celebrating the day, but taking practical steps towards supporting children with cancer and their families as they seek treatment. The construction of a hostel is a great feat that has to be applauded. It will provide a supportive environment for parents and their wards as they seek care. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the global estimate of new childhood cancer cases is put at 175,000 to 250,000 annually, with approximately 90% of affected children residing in developing countries. More than 70% of childhood cancers is now curable, with modern therapy, but this therapy must be provided in a supportive environment. In lower middle income countries, where access to healthcare is limited and very challenging, survival rates are as low as 10 to 20%, meaning that only 1 to 2 children out of 10 who are diagnosed with cancer and receive treatment will survive. Conversely, high-income countries' survival rates can be as high as 80 to 90%, meaning that only 1 or 2 children out of 10 diagnosed and treated for cancer will die. The reason for this significant inequity are lack of information about early signs and symptoms of childhood cancer, late diagnosis, misdiagnosis, weak referral systems, difficult access to care and treatment, cost of treatment and medicines, and weak healthcare systems. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, children and adolescents are the heart of every community and nation, and the future. It is therefore our responsibility to ensure that they are able to live life to the fullest and to reach their full potentials. Childhood cancer robs our kids of their childhood and youth. It threatens and puts at risk their survival. A cancer diagnosis shatters every sense of normal life for children, adolescents, and their families. But even more heart-wrenching than the effect of cancer on the families, siblings, and parents are the effects of cancer on the children and adolescents themselves. At the age of supposed innocence, enjoyment, and pure joy, kids with cancer are faced with difficult and demanding situations, isolating them for long periods of time from peers and friends. The least we can do is to ensure that the kids and their families have a comfortable place to stay when they are going through this daunting treatment. As we cast the sword for the construction of the hostel later today, let us all support to see to the speedy completion of this project. Let us do more and care for the kids with cancer. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Samson. We'll now call on the representative to the Director General, Ghana Health Service, to give us a speech. He's in the person of Entry.
Your Excellency, the First Lady, Mrs. Rebecca Kufuor, and Chief Executive Officer of Hollywood Teaching Hospital, Directors, Heads of Departments, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The Ghana Health Service congratulates the Ghana Parents Association for Childhood Cancers and the Hollywood Teaching Hospital for this wonderful initiative of constructing a hostel for children with cancer and their parents. This will relieve parents and children from the burden of finding accommodation whilst undergoing treatment. Early detection and treatment of cancers often leads to favorable outcomes. In this regard, the Ghana Health Service and partners has produced some health educational materials on childhood cancers to assist healthcare workers at all levels of the system to promptly identify possible childhood cancers and refer such children for appropriate treatment. This initiative should improve detection of cases at an early stage so that the treatment can be initiated. The Ghana Health Service will continue to collaborate with all stakeholders to improve the treatment and care of children affected by cancer. Once again, Your Excellency, I recommend this initiative and trust that the project will be completed in good time to serve the noble purpose. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody here who doesn't know who the special guest of honor is? Anybody? But perhaps I can tell you a few things about her that you don't know. So she is no stranger to politics, because her father was the Speaker of Parliament in the Third Republic. She attended Ajimota Primary School and Wesley Grammar School in Accra. She qualified as a legal secretary in the United Kingdom and has worked for several multinational firms. She absolutely loves children, and she's actually the patron of a charity that supports prevention of malaria in children, which is called Infanta Malaria. We're hoping that after today, we can add on childhood cancers to the causes that she supports. She is a mother and grandmother. She loves to read, she loves interior decoration, but most importantly, she is the loving and supportive wife of the President of the Republic of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Her Excellency, Mrs. Rebecca Akufo-Addo.
Good morning, everybody. Doctors, nurses, everybody, ASM, good morning to you all. I thank you very much for inviting me here today. Please sit. I must say that I'm already moved by what I have seen and heard. And I'm going to promise you that I'll do everything I can. Pressurize Mr. President to help you construct this building. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and it could be my child, it could be yours. And so I shall do everything I can to assist. I'll get everybody I know who can afford something to bring something to assist. A small speech here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to participate in commemorating today, 15 February 2017, as the International Childhood Cancer Day. It is with pride that we note the great reduction in under 5 mortality from 111/1,000 in 2006 to less than 70 out of 100,000 in 2015. This is mainly as a result of effective control of infections such as malaria, diarrhea, and pneumonia by the health sector. However, this has now led to the recognition of non-communicable diseases, such as cancer, as important causes of childhood illness and death. As previous speakers have mentioned, many challenges face children with cancer and their families. And one of the most important of these, excluding direct costs, is the lack of suitable accommodation for the duration of their child's treatment for those who travel from afar. This may also be a reason why only about 30% of the expected number of 1,000 children attend the 2 treatment facilities in Accra and Kumasi each year. This occasion, which marks the beginning of the construction of the hostel, is an important one. for hundreds of children with cancer who will in the near future be receiving treatment at Kolebu Hospital and their guardians. This should be a safe haven for them, a home away from their distant homes. Once functional, this will relieve the stress faced by many guardians of having to travel several hours repeatedly for treatment with their child, along with its associated costs and risks. Beyond providing a hostel, we should go a step further to consider access to well-balanced diets for the children and their families. This is an area that will need to be explored further. As many of the children will have to live here for several months, it is also important that their educational needs are met. I have been reliably informed that teachers have been assigned to cover the children's wards at Kolebu, and so I take this opportunity to suggest this hostel should also have teachers assigned to the children. Congratulations to the Ghana Parents Association Against Childhood Cancers for initiating this worthy project. I would like to assure you of my commitment to the realization of initiatives that will improve the health of our precious children, and to encourage all to join forces in contributing towards the successful completion of this hostel. I have noted the call of the acting CEA to be an ambassador for childhood cancers, and I accept this challenge. I call on all of us to be advocates for the welfare of children with cancers. Thank you, and God bless you all.
We're coming to shoot from somewhere, very much. Okay.
Today is a great day, and we thank God Almighty that we have seen today as Ghana Parents Association. So in thanking God, we thank you, First Lady, Mrs. Akufo-Addo, for coming and accepting again to be a childhood cancer ambassador for us. We know that with you in the boat, we will do mighty things for humanity. We thank Kolebu for giving us this land, as we all know. For the head of Kolebu, Dr. Esiama, for all heads of departments, for the doctors, ASM. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out, please. I'm standing behind the First Lady, so I think I'm a bit shaking. So we thank you all for coming. Please help us put up the structure so that we'll alleviate pain from mothers and children. Thank you all for coming.
Bye-bye.